Hello everyone and welcome back to Texafy's Reflect.run tutorial. In previous video, we have learned how to sign up for Reflect free account, how to create first automated test case, and the benefits of Reflect.run, the pricing and the plans. And in today's video, we will learn how to edit test cases, enhance them with AI prompts, use of assertions, and use of text and visual validations effectively. So let's get started. So once we are logged in into our Reflect.run dashboard, we will select the test case which we want to edit from our existing list, and here is the one which we have created in the last video. Clicking on this test will bring us into this test editor, and from here we can make any change or modification. In this test editor, you can see your all steps on the left side, and you can add, delete, and modify them. So let's begin with the modification first. Suppose you have entered a wrong date of birth and now you want to change it. So simply click on this arrow and it will open the related properties here. You can see the different properties attached with this step. One of the most important property is the failure mode. Failure mode defines how the system should respond when a test step does not execute it successfully. That means if the test step fails. So there are three options. First is fail the test immediately. That means if a test step fails, the entire test is immediately marked as failed and no subsequent steps are executed. This approach is used for the crucial test where the success of one step is a prerequisite for the following steps. For example, the login test, because when the login fails, there is no point in running the subsequent tests. And next is fail the test but keep on executing. If a test step fails, the tests keep on executing the remaining steps, but the test is marked as failed. But the other additional failures and success, they are also marked. For example, running tests for system behavior across multiple functionalities, where the failure of one component does not affect the other component's functionality. So we mostly use this failure mode in those test cases. And next is ignore the failure. This mode allows the test to continue without marking the test as failed due to current step failure. And it is applicable mostly in exploratory testing, where the goal is just to see what happens under various conditions without any strict requirement of passing of each every step. So let's come back to the modification part. Now I want to change this date. Just simply change it to 15. You can see the input has been changed here as well. Click on save and our changes will be saved. Now you can see the input has been changed here, right? So now let's come to the deletion part. And now let's correct the mistake of our previous test case. If you want to see your previous test case, so you can simply click on view result. In the previous test case, what mistake we have done, we have entered the phone number, which is less than 10 digits. And what happens when we click on submit? It gives us this error. To avoid this situation, now we will correct the input of phone number. For that, we will go back to test editor. And here is the input. We will click on this, enter a full-fledged phone number. And what happened previously, when we submit the details, that red error message appeared there, and then we have to go back to correct the phone number. But now, as we have already entered the valid phone number, so that error message won't appear. So, no need to execute these three steps. We will delete these steps. And yeah, we have entered the phone number here, so we will delete and hit the save button. Now, we will run the test. Before running this test, I will explain you about dynamic inputs and functions. You can see these are the dynamic parameters which must be passed every time we run a test case. So if I replace the first name and the last name with another name, say Monica Rana, it will create a new contact with this name. But this requires us to manually enter a data every time. But when we talk about regression and automation testing, we need these test cases to execute automatically with dynamic and unique value every time. For that, we need a function which automatically create a new value every time, and that value must be unique. And that function is alpha. Alpha is a function which automatically creates a word, or you can say a string of random letters. We can also specify the length of the word it should generate. For instance, if we set it to 6, it will produce a random string of random letters of length 6. This applies equal to generating both first name and last name. So we have put function alpha on both input fields of different length. Now we will run the test case. We can watch our test executing live. But the virtual machine initialization takes some time to process. And the test has been performed. Go back to runs. You can see the test run a few seconds ago. Click on it. We can view the recorded test execution here. The test is being executed and it has successfully entered all the values: first name, last name, phone number, date of birth, email, and the contact has been added successfully. So that is all. So now let's come to the part of validations, visual validations and the text validations. So visual validations basically include checking of layouts, colors, size, or any image/logo on the web page. Suppose I want to validate the logo of this app. I want to verify its size, color, and its proper layout. So what I will do, first I will go back to the test, open the test, go to the bottom of the test, click on this plus button, and click on re-record from this point. Now it will run the test till that point. Now click on this plus button, click on add visual validations, highlight this logo. Now it will verify that this logo appears on the page. Whether this logo appears on the bottom, on the top, wherever be the place, it will just verify its color, its size, and the layout and the alignment. Everything it will verify. Now, I want to verify that I have landed on the correct page. This is the part of text validation. So what I'm explaining, click on this plus button, add a text validation, and highlight the text you want to validate. Suppose this is contact list. So it will validate that this particular test should be on this page. Next validation, suppose we have entered the edit thing. So it should be contact detail on that page. Highlight this text again. And then click on add text validation. You can see this line, observe the element with the value contact details is displayed. So next is AI prompts. We can verify our results with the help of AI prompts. So again, click on this plus button. Go to this field, AI prompt step, give any prompt, suppose verify. The first name, last name is on the screen. The recently added contact first name, last name should appear on this page. So we are giving this prompt to AI and then run prompt. It will verify the inputs which you have given to this particular test case are appear on this screen or not. It will give the result in the form of true or false. Now let's try to give a negative prompt. Suppose we are giving verify. Puja is on the screen. So there is no contact or any word with Puja on the screen. So it will give us a negative value. That means it will return false. See, fail to verify Puja on the page, return false. So now let's head over to assertion part. Assertion means verifying the actual value with the expected value. That means the values which I have entered are appearing correct on the screens. So in this case, suppose I have entered this first name and last name, I have to verify with this. So I have already put this assertion that assert is string that equal to first name and last name. That means the name appearing on the contact list should be equal to the name which I have entered in the first and the last name field. Okay, so we can put various assertions on there as well. So if you return to contact list button, suppose let's re-record from here. We are here, so let's re-record from this point. Run test. Now I want to validate or assert my values which I have entered. So just click over here. Now I will check. I will highlight this. I will add assertion. And what will be my assertion? Replace with, just replace this first name with first name. First name @gmail.com. Add assertion. Okay. Close it. I want to check my first name here or date of birth. Suppose date of birth. Highlight it, add assertion. I can directly input the value here that this value should be equal to this, or I can insert any variable here, or I can match it with the math formula within the range, within a value in a list, or it should not be empty like this. Okay. So I'm just directly putting the value here that it should match exactly this. Okay, add assertion. Go back. So suppose city, I don't want to left the city empty. So click over here. So simply click over here, highlight this, add assertion is not empty. They'll put just assertion like this field should not be empty and add assertions. Now resume execution or we can directly save it. We will update the test. And now we will run our test. Run test, watch the test run live. We can change the values if I want to, or We have already put some ranges here with dynamic functions. Initializing the virtual machine. Test has already been started. Yeah, it is there. It will verify this. Verify Puja is on the page. We can also do, if it fail at this point, what we can do, just click over here. Move exit. We can change it also. Verify Puja is not on the page. Not on the page. And execute prompt. Now it will verify that Puja is not on the page and it returns the true thing. Now save, and now we can update the test again and rerun it. I know these tests run very fast. That's why we have recording, so we can analyze each and every step later on as well. Here is the execution pointer. Yes. Back to runs. Go to tests. Here's the test case. And from here, we can watch our previous result. So you can see here is the timeline at what time what action has been performed. Now it is verifying at every point. Click on V2 tower. It has verified that it should be equal to first name and last name. Next, it's Gmail. It has verified that Gmail should be with the first name at the rate gmail.com. After that, it has asserted that this particular input should be equal to this value. And then it has checked that this particular field should not be empty. Next. Now here it has observed that this particular logo should be on the screen. And then it has observed here contact list. This is the text validation, and verifying this logo is a visual validation. Verifying the first name, last name is on the page. Verify Puja is not on the page. And here our test run successfully. And thus how we refine our test cases in Reflect. We edited steps, integrated AI prompts, assertions, set up both text and visual validations. So use these strategies to enhance your automated testing for better reliability and accuracy. So that is all about putting assertions and validations on Reflect test cases. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you found it useful, and subscribe with notification. Or is there any something you specific you would like to learn about? Leave us a comment below. Until next time, happy testing and thank you.